going to talk about race and gender here, but Stephen Gordon brought up something interesting, and so I didn't want to jump on that without getting into what you were saying. Elaborate just a little bit for me on something I think you were saying earlier.
Okay. Congressman Aderholt suggested that there is a great deal of difference between McCain and Obama, and that's not the way third-party candidates and third-party voters are looking at it. They see both candidates voting for the bailout, both candidates supporting $100 billion a year plus increase in spending, and they're looking for change. They're looking for something different. That's why Matt Murphy endorsed Bob Barr. I heard that while I was driving in this morning.
Here's what I want to ask you. I'm going to ask you what I'm going to ask them, and that is, my personal perception is that color matters this time. You've got a very prominent, very quickly moving black candidate for office. I think that has had an effect on how people come out. Do you think that's real, or do you think that's not real?
I acknowledge that's the way people are voting right now, but that's not necessarily the way we should be voting. We should be looking at how people feel about the Iraq War, how they feel about spending and deficit spending, and the Second Amendment, and a wide host of issues that have a lot more impact than the race of a candidate.
Kind of getting buried right now.
I'm aware of that.
Let me go over to John. John, jump back to my original question again about. Let's talk about color and gender.
Sure.
I think they're. Boom, I think they're very big and prominent on the screen. Do you, and do you think that has anything to do with the term?
Absolutely, they're very big, but they're not big in the way we traditionally have looked at issues of races involving race particularly. I think a lot of people across this country feel like this is a chance to get beyond that because they see in Barack Obama has tremendous white support. No candidate, he's a black man with a foreign-sounding name. He's up 10 points in the polls. What does that say about how far we've come as a country? I mean, that's... maybe this is our chance to get beyond it, one way or another.
Yeah, let me actually jump in this point, Tracy, because Barack Obama is probably going to get a larger share of the white vote than John Kerry got 4 years ago, or Al Gore got in 2000, or Bill Clinton in 1992. That's a big deal.
What happened to make that happen?
He has run a campaign that has frankly transcended race. I'll say something that might surprise a lot of people listening to this. I think more people will vote for Barack Obama today because of his race, both black and white, than will vote against him because of his race. He has managed to run a campaign where, frankly, most of the conversation, honestly, has not been about skin color. It's been about the economy. It's been about Iraq. It's been about the things that normally get debated in presidential politics. I think race has taken a back seat, and to the extent that it's been on the front burner, it's honestly probably helped Senator Obama more than it's hurt him.
One thing that we need to keep in mind is Bush has been in office for 8 years, and any time you have a presidency, the party that's in party for 8 years always has a disadvantage. If you look back, when Clinton was in office for 2 years, that paved the way for George Bush to be elected. And so, quite honestly, after 8 years, a president makes a lot of people angry because of the policies that he's put forward. And I think it's very easy to see that, and in many parts of the country, that a lot of people have been disenchanted with the last few years with George Bush. I support George Bush. I think he's been a good president, but I know there's parts of the country that have blamed everything that has gone wrong in this country on George Bush, and therefore that is sort of transcending onto the Republicans.
Justified?
Justified? No, I think it's but just because of the way that politics are set up and the way that we have somebody in office, sometimes you want new blood in there, and you want new. But all in all, I will say that it has to be clear that this election is still very close, and still you have 8 years of a Republican president.
We were taking a live picture of one of the rallies. I just wanted to mention that. Okay. I got 10 questions in 1 minute. So, but I want to ask this, Congressman. We talked about the polls. John mentioned the polls just a moment ago, and depending on what poll you look at, let's say a several point spread between Obama and McCain at the moment. Do you think that has the outcome already been decided here, or what do you think?
Well, I think it's entirely possible that, of course, John McCain could win, and a lot of people have pretty much written him off, but I think that'd be entirely wrong. And number two, I think it's going to boil down to the battleground states. But on the electoral college votes, that's where it's really we don't know, as they're up in the air. But I wouldn't be surprised at all if the popular vote was won by John McCain.
Okay, and I'm just going to ask you yes or no for all of you. If I bring up race again, am I playing and talking too much about race and forgetting about other stuff, or does race matter here? Yes or no? Yes or no? Just one word.
Yes.
Yes?
Well, race, of course, matters.
I should know to ask. Give me yes or no. You got to give me yes or no.
I mean, obviously, race matters.
So yes. So
I
yes,
don't think
because
it matters as simply, though, as some people think.
Okay.
The reason it's not a yes or no question, Tracy, is because...
I got to go to a break. So yes or no?
I think this is about issues.
Okay, no. Two no. A yes, a no, and
Race matters, issues matter more.
okay, and a yes. And we'll delve into that a little bit more in just a couple minutes after the break. Okay.